A statue of a serious-looking woman on a busy London street near Trafalgar Square. Few people would now know the story of Nurse Edith Cavell, who ran a training hospital in Belgium during the First World War. She treated the Allied and German injured equally, but her patriotism led to her aiding Allied soldiers to get back to their lines. Eventually she was betrayed and she was arrested by the German military for aiding and abetting their enemies. After a short trial, she was found guilty and in October 1915 was executed by firing squad. Now London sit at her feet eating their sandwiches, not knowing that Edith Cavell was a heroine of post-Edwardian Britain, a martyr who put duty before her own safety. Before she died, she stated, "Patriotism is not enough. I must have no hatred or bitterness for anyone." Her death was condemned worldwide, influencing America's decision to come into the war. In 1919, her body was returned to Britain and the streets were lined with silent crowds. She was taken first to Westminster Abbey and then to her native Norfolk to be buried in Norwich Cathedral. To glimpse into the final year in Edith Cavell's life, we have to recognise that it was a year of turmoil in the Great War, the war which it was said would end all wars. And it is in the Imperial War Museum that we are given some idea of the full horror, a place for tourists, a beautiful building in beautiful grounds, hiding the true horror within. Edith Cavell was a nurse dedicated to healing, but the forces of war led her down the path which would lead to her death. Inside the museum is so much that Edith Cavell would have recognised. The planes, tanks, the armoured vehicles, even a London bus which would have brought